Okay, this app is strange. Sometimes I feel like it's also the app sometimes not working. But yeah, I picked that alongside some of the other artists that fit the vibe, and I picked a couple of Khalid songs because I feel like his album was very underrated when it came out.
Yeah, I will admit, I didn't get to hear it. I need to go back and listen to that. I heard the single, the big single that he had, and I do a lot of artists I experience like that where I'll hear the big single and I'll be like, oh, I'm going back to listen, but I never do. So I need to hear that. And I'm looking forward to Kim Petras's album, I think coming next week. So I'm excited about that. I'll be listening to that for sure and replaying it over and over.
Yeah, I have a few of that. I have Kim Petras in the queue too. I have Need for Speed in there, especially because for side, like I said, for side A of my EP, I'm doing like the R&B, but then when I do the pop, it's still gonna have those R&B influences. And what I really like about Khalid is he kind of has that
So So are the songs that all the songs you're kind of choosing here, do these all inspire your EP?
kind of, yeah, like
The pop side, the ones that you're playing today?
that's what I had in mind. Yeah. Today, what I wanted to originally do is a few songs that I have on both sides that are inspired by a certain sound that comes from video games, but I don't know how to incorporate that into a playlist yet. So today I'm just like, just wanted to go for like an R&B pop. And yeah, something a little more simple, but still kind of in the direction of discussing that overlap between R&B and B and pop, and then kind of the songs that
It's
inspired
still a
me one
vibe.
way or another.
It's still going to be a vibe today. And you want to know something interesting about Stay too? How you say R&B. I will say that I understand why some people would hear me and think that I was R like alternative R&B or R&B pop based on Stay, because that is like the first pop song I produced, but it did have a heavy R&B influence. I should play you one day. I'm gonna actually send it to you personally, like the original stems and stuff for Stay, because it sounded more close to like an Ariana Grande or a Little Mix song. It sounded like like Destiny's Child. That's what it was giving. It was very much like that. And I usually never like make anything that sounds like that, but for some reason with that specific song, I was just on that vibe, and what we ended up landing on was something that was closer to stadium pop, like the stadium pop. I was really inspired by Taylor Swift's 1989 era. That's what I was inspired by for the final like track, but the bones of it still are very much like R&B pop.
Yeah, and I felt like that one stands out a little bit from your other songs because since when you put out Charlie's Law on SoundCloud, that one was leaning more into the type of pop that you're doing, which you started to experiment more with hyperpop. And that's something that I would like to do, but I haven't really started on yet. A lot of the pop songs that I do kind of have that. I don't know exactly how I would describe the sound, but I think that R&B pop blend is probably the best way to describe it. But then when I put side B, it's more focused on that pop side. And with some of the graphics and stuff I was working on, I had like picked like if you've seen that one episode of SpongeBob where they go to the future and everything is like silver, I kind of like that, and I feel like that matches the vibe of like the type of pop that I was experimenting with in that
That's funny.
song.
I've never seen that episode, but I'm sure it'll be a delight. I need to like figure out what the inspiration, like as an artist, it always comes from the weirdest places. But that's funny.
Yeah, and that's some of the things that I was thinking about because I'm about to put a comment in the chat that has the chrome. Everything is chrome. But yeah, that's one of the weird inspirations. But specifically, and what I've been doing is I've learned how to use like CGI on my phone, and I can go on my computer and like make these low quality models, but then put it behind like a pixel filter and make it look like an old video game.
Oh,
because
cool.
one of the biggest inspiration for some of my songs was from specifically on like Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS when they would make Sims games.
Oh,
And the
cool.
one of the particular ones was Herbs, and it was like Sims in the City. And the PlayStation version had the Black Eyed Peas, but the handheld version did not. So it was like generic R&B music, but then it was like incorporated into Game Boy music, and it had a very interesting sound. And with my next song, the Don't Touch the Art, I'm gonna start promoting that one this week on like TikTok and stuff. But that one has more of that influence, which I was not
Yeah.
sure about putting it on the side A because it was more R&B focused, and that one I felt like leaned into the pop direction. But I, it's one of those weird inspiration sources for me.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. That's hilarious. Like I need to go and listen. First of all, I'm gonna look at the SpongeBob episode, but also you would have to send me references for the Sims music because I want to hear it.
Yeah, I will, because I don't think you would notice it at all, because it was really hard to get something in a song like that that actually sounded, that had that sound, and ultimately kind of drove away from that. But um, it's like a little synth that I kind of pieced together from what was left of the song, and then I put like a bit crusher on it. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, a bit crusher, and it sounded really similar to one of the synths that was used in like the video game, the background music, where it was like the R&B, but it had that filter on it because it was a Game Boy, and that was kind of the sound that I was going for. And it's hard to tell because I don't think people would notice it as much until they've heard that type of music.
Excited to hear it, and I can't wait to see what other songs that you picked today to kind of like inspire that this new era.
Yeah, and I have a bad apple somewhere in the queue too. What I plan to do is, since I do a few segments, I figured since it's so like, since it's such a simple setup, I can just let the music play. So when I close out, I'm just like, oh, I can just select a bunch of songs to kind of just go. Um, but yeah, I'm starting with Stay, and then it's gonna transition into a few songs. I don't remember what order I put it in, but do you know That Kid? Have you heard of him before?
Really have, but I wouldn't know what songs, but I've heard the name. I've heard the name.
There's one, I forgot which one I have after Stay, but it was something that I thought went really well. But what I believe the one that came after that one is gonna transition into one of his songs called Denim, and he is like very femme. And his music is kind of like Aisha erotica a little bit, and
That's cool. Maybe I've seen it. No, that's a different one. There's somebody else that's super
he's
fan.
dark skinned, and he's got these like long acrylic nails, and then he'll wear like a lot of highlighter,
Oh,
and that's
okay, I know who you're talking about. Is he big on TikTok?
yes.
Yeah, I think my
And
friend sent me him.
he's one of the people that does like the some of the content I see about him on TikTok kind of does the meme format that I've started noticing a lot of people will like resonate with when I make TikTok posts.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That he's been around for a minute. That kid, I do know who you're talking about. Did he have like you said he has long acrylic? At one point, did he ever have short hair?
Yeah, I think he's like, I don't know, because I've always, I don't, I've only seen him like buzz cut, like not bald, but like shaved off. But
Yes, yes, yes. I know what you're talking. Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Really good
yeah,
artist.